Weasleys, welcome back to another sketchbook tour, and this is actually my last completed sketchbook as of right now, which is November 2018. Pretty interesting, probably one of the more interesting ones in my collection, just because this one turned out to be more like a scrapbook. So what happened with this one is I had two running sketchbooks at the same time. One of them was on my desk at work when I worked in the studios, and I kind of used that one on and off for a few years, and then same with this one, I kept using it, like returning to it on and off. So this sketchbook spans actually like 8 years. So there's stuff in the very beginning that's from 8 years ago, and then there's stuff that I pasted in for my workbook or other loose pieces of paper that are more recent, and it actually kind of goes back and forth. So there's stuff at the front that's old and new, and it kind of does that through most of the book, as well as some other stuff that I just liked that I didn't draw. There's lots of stickers, and I haven't flipped through this, I think, since I finished it. I think I finished this about like 6 or 7 months ago, so yeah, let's start. There's a lot to look at in here. This book is actually really heavy too, like trying to lift it up because there's so much extra paper pasted into it. And I've been writing this message into my sketchbook since I lost a sketchbook in a public washroom at a convention, and they didn't like turn it into the lost and found or anything. So I think they just like kept it. So these are just some marker thumbnails I did for my webcomic, the locations there. And this is a drawing I did from that kind of famous picture of Lupita Nyong'o. I think that's her name. Where I did kind of like a little mini workshop at my work where we would draw something and then put another piece of paper over top and try to draw it in a more like exaggerated style, or just make it look more appealing or more cartoony or something like that. So that's that. And I got this bunny washi tape off eBay. And then, so that's a somewhat recent drawing. It's a few years old. And then this is a really old drawing. So that's one from like 6 or 7 years ago that I did after I went to Hawaii. And that one, I should have colored this or like done it in ink, because there's these really cute little blackfish here at Hawaii, in the waters around Hawaii. And I don't know what they were called, but yeah, I thought it'd be cool to have a mermaid like based off one of those. And then here, these are just some thumbnails I did for like hand lettering ideas. I want to try to do some hand lettered like prints and stuff. And this is my character, what's her name? Reno? I forgot her name. This is another one of those drawings, like the Lupita one. It's Christoph Waltz, I think. That's his name. And then another one of my characters, Hasper. Why can't I remember their names today? It's taking me like 5 minutes. I don't know, I'm like brain dead. So this is Bruce and Adrian. Oh, I did another one of these drawings, but I must have thrown it away. And then I did this one. This is one of my, I think, DeviantArt friends' characters. Again, this is an older one. And I think this was actually, I did like sketches for people who donated to the earthquake relief in Japan in 2011. These are just some life drawing sketches. Sometimes I sketch along with my students during life drawing class. And that's another one that's a character sketch request. And some more life drawing. So again, like we're switching from newer to old. So the life drawing is more recent and within the past couple years, and this is from like 7 years ago. And here we have more thumbnails from my comic, just playing around with different visuals, different styles. Really just procrastinating and starting the comic though. And this stuff that is cut out is from that sketchbook I was talking about. That used to be my work sketchbook. And this one is Adelaide from my comic, just like the type of underclothing she might have. And this is, did I skip a page? No. This is my character Attack, and he hasn't shown up in the comic yet, but he's like the third main character. He's gonna come in the next chapter, so stay tuned for that. And then here's some more thumbnails. It's funny, I actually did these thumbnails maybe a couple years before I even started drawing the comic, and like this almost exact scene is still in like the final pages in chapter 1. And that's my character Attack again. This is how sentimental I am. Like, I saved this like label from my first class. This must be another sketchbook. I don't know why the paper is so yellow. Oh, so this is Tack, and then these are my characters from the first Valor book. By the way, Valor 2 is out now, and I'll leave a link to that down below. And then there's just some bunny gestures and some random stuff. That's more like comic concepts. This is Isabel's character from her comic, Namesake. And here's another life drawing study. And this is just a one-off comic I did of my characters from my webcomic, but it's not that funny. And then that's just one of my favorite poems that I printed out. And some random character. It's another older drawing. And these are some photo drawings from like fashion pictures on Pinterest. And some more life drawing. And this one, I don't know why, but this ended up being like one of my more popular drawings on DeviantArt. There's a colored version up. Life drawing. And here we started doing portrait studies in life drawing class. And this is my character Maine and my friend's character Ophira. We used to like write stories about them, and I have a bunch of drawings of them. I am aware that his head is huge compared to hers. And some more life drawing. And then those are some more characters from that same universe as Maine and Ophira. This is Maine's little sister and her friend. And then this page is just some concepts I did for promoting Valor, the Valor 2 book. So this one ended up being, I used for the final colored piece. I like inked on top of this digitally. So that's up online everywhere. And then, yeah, this one was like my author portrait for the book. And then these ones are just like concepts, another unused concept. And then these ones are for like the actual comic that's in Valor 2. another random character, and Marini from Sailor Moon. Around this time I started drawing the Sailor Scouts as like gangsters or something, but I didn't finish. This is supposed to be Sailor Mars. And this one is so bad, I think this is where I gave up because I was like, oh, this turned out really bad. It's supposed to be Sailor Venus. It's hard to tell when they're not like colored. And Sailor Moon. So this page I was actually copying off another artist, just trying to do like studies on how they did poses and shapes. I just found like their posing really appealing, but I didn't write down their username, so I don't remember who this was. And then, yeah, there's some more thumbnails and my character, Main's little sister, and my friend's character, Will. And yeah, these characters again, Main and Ophira. And a lot of these pictures, all of the ones I've shown you, go along with like some of the stories. And that's Asuka from Neon Genesis. And I think that was going to be Ray, but I gave up on that. And then, yeah, these are just some more like thumbnail sketches. This is supposed to be Adelaide, and then this is an older drawing of my three main characters from my comic. And then this one is supposed to be the main character from The Price of Salt / Carol, if you guys have seen that or read it. And then this is like the other lady in her love interest. And these are my characters again. Oh yeah, I have like a finished piece that I did for my friend where I like put both of these together in Photoshop, and I drew like a background that wasn't great, honestly. Yeah, so these are my characters, Adrian and Bruce. They show up a lot, but I've never actually done much with them. Like there's no comic with them or anything like that. And this one is just like some thumbnails for my comic pages maybe. Or no, maybe it's all one page. And these are some character concepts for my comic again, Kingdom Come, so those characters will show up a bit later. And these are some more thumbnails. Comic page thumbnails. Yeah, I think these are the ones I actually ended up using. Because I remember I thumbnailed this whole chapter once and then I discarded them. These look like the ones that actually got used, maybe. And some random character. Sailor Moon again. And this kind of looks like my character Casper, but I don't know, maybe it's just based on her. And here's some more thumbs I did for a commission I had. And then I created this character for Main's little sister to like be her girlfriend. What's her name? Oh, Indira. And these are all drawn at like a sketching get-together type of thing. So that's my friend that was there. And this is a concept I did for my Valor comic, the first one, that, you know, like didn't make it into the actual story. And here I started writing down like notes from the original Little Mermaid, which is what my first Valor story is based on. It's a retelling of that. And I started writing them in my sketchbook thinking it wouldn't be that long, but now you'll see I have like pages and pages. These pages, by the way, that are ripped and have like these torn edges are from a bunny, by the way. Yeah, I think it's a bunny I was fostering at the time, and I would like sit with her and work on my sketchbook to spend time with her, and she would just like bite the book, as you might have seen from the front cover. There's bites out of that too. So yeah, these are more concepts for that first Valor. This actually is in the final comic. And yeah, this is the script treatment basically. And another concept for the main character. And more thumbnails. More thumbnails for that and more concepts. This one is separate. This is Adelaide for an illustration I did of her. And yeah, I did like a fully rendered piece of that for my Works art show. And this one is super old. It's probably like one of the oldest drawings in here, where at my work at the time we would draw from like movie stills on our lunch breaks. So Hercules is one of the first ones we did. Oh, and here's another example of that hand-drawn animation flash I was talking about in my last sketchbook. So this is another like thumbnail animation that I did. So it was just like easier for me to wrap my mind around how I was going to animate something if I just did it like step by step on paper first and then like translated that into the program. And I remember this one, it turned out pretty well. The animation as well, like the director liked it. And here's some more Valor stuff. So I illustrated a prose story in Valor as well as my own comic. And that's the sketch I did for the author portrait. So again, I like inked that and colored it and everything. And that's in the book, but it's also online. And then there's some more Sailor Moon stuff and Maine. And then this one's another like fashion drawing from a photo. And yeah, I remember I did this at my dad's house on like an envelope, so I just cut it out and pasted it in here. I always wanted to color this and make her hair like a galaxy type of thing, but I've never done that. And then this is Indira, and a random sketch. Indira again. And these ones are some more Kingdom Come thumbnails. These ones are kind of spoilers for the story. I mean, not big spoilers, but yeah. So some more things that show up a lot in my sketchbooks. Bunnies, and this is a note. I remember me and my boyfriend were in a meeting and we were working on the same show, and he tried to put his hair in an elastic and the elastic just like broke and fell out of his hair. So I wrote him this note because like we were in the meeting, couldn't talk. Yeah, Sailor Moon, my character from my student film. This character that's kind of based off those like rabbit people in Final Fantasy 12 or whichever one it was. This is Christina off YouTube. She's a J blogger. And some more like Sailor Moon stuff, and my character Casper. And Sailor Moon stuff, random things, and these are supposed to be Cleopatra and Joan of Arc from Clone High, which is my favorite cartoon. And then the guy from Star Wars and some other random things. These are just some like small little studies I did on like a riverbank that we went to a couple times on our lunch breaks to sketch. And this is my old YouTube like end card thing well, actually I still use it. It's just like a variation of it. Then this, I was trying to figure out like what I was going to do for my author portrait. I hadn't decided on the one I did end up using, but for the Valor 2 book. And then there's Harry Potter and Hermione. That's supposed to be that little like jar of fire she has in the first book. And then this one, I still need to clean this up, and I want to do like a print of this. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! From Yu-Gi-Oh! On Ice. And oh, okay, here, I think these are the notes I meant. So here I started doing the Nutcracker notes. So the Nutcracker is the story I did for Valor 2. And same thing where I thought like I wouldn't make that many notes, and it's like a million pages of notes that I took up in this book. This is one we did on the Burrow, so we did this as like a challenge. Charlie and I did like a collab video, so that's from that video. There's a million pages of notes. Apparently I spilled water all over these pages. They're really water damaged. Thankfully the ink didn't run. So here I'm just like brainstorming the themes of the story. So what I did is I like read the original Nutcracker book, and then by Hans Christian Andersen or whoever wrote it. Who wrote this? I don't know. And yeah, so then I started working on like thumbnailing the designs. Actually, these are fairly close to what I ended up going with. This drawing I liked so much that it ended up in the final comic. So this one you'll see online is like cleaned up in color, but it's also in the book. Like it's in this is its own panel in the comic. And yeah, this is like the exact design I went with. These ones as well, I just went with these like thumbnails became the official designs. And even more notes here, I started writing out my own like script for the story. And this is just some stuff I did in class one day, I think. I'm a very good teacher, I swear, but sometimes it's just a little slow. I teach like 4 hours in each class, so I have some time to do some doodling. This thumbnail as well ended up in the final comic. Oh, and this one too. And this one's just some random drawing, it's not a comic. Yeah, so that's the Rat King in the Nutcracker. He's in the comic as well. And then I think here I start... Yeah, so here I started thumbnailing the whole comic for Valor 2. And this is the design I did for the doll. So in the original story, her name is Clara, but a lot of people think the main character's name is Clara because in the animated Nutcracker from like the 90s, earlier mid-90s whenever it came out, they swapped the two names. So the main girl was named Clara, and then they gave the doll the name Marie, but in the original Nutcracker story, the main character is named Marie and the doll is named Claire. Anyway, you probably didn't care. So these are the thumbnails I did for the story. Yeah, I was pretty thorough with my thumbnailing here. I don't know how I managed that. I don't know if I had like other scrap pieces of paper. I don't know, I just seemed to have like a clear idea of what I was doing here. And again, like these drawings, they ended up pretty much in the final pages. And just some random doodles. I was trying to get back more into the style of how I used to draw like earlier on in college, where I did like a lot of different things on one page. And just drawing like whatever comes to mind. This is a sketch I did for a commission. I don't remember who this is supposed to be. And then this was from a dream I had that was like really detailed, and the dream like cut like a movie trailer. So I had to like draw it and like write down notes for it as soon as I got up, and then I realized it was really similar to Stranger Things, at least the characters, but like the story in the dream was this kid finds out his dad is part of this like native tribe that has the power of like birds so they can fly, and that the mom like doesn't want him to go and be with them because like the flying around is really dangerous, and like I can't remember what else. There's some other like dangerous element to it. There's like an older brother like in Stranger Things and everything. And here's some concepts for, is this in frame? Some concepts for Kingdom Come. Yeah, this one ended up being the icon of the comic for a while, and then this one I cleaned up and colored, like blew it up. This is the thumbnail, I guess, for one of the banners. I use that in my videos often as well. And yeah, some more like marker and ink things. Meeting notes. My bunny, and oh, this is Tammy. She was like, I want to get this tattooed on me. I was like, please don't. This is just random doodling, pen doodles. I'm trying to get back into being able to draw with pen because I kind of left that for a while. You know, like when you get used to drawing digitally, it becomes much harder to draw with pen because you're used to being able to undo whatever you just did. But drawing with pen is really fun. And that's Prince Gil from my comic, and another like self-portrait thing. This is my hamster that died this year, and yeah, some other just like random stuff like bunny. I've always tried to figure out like an interesting style I could draw my bunnies in, but I've never really been happy with any of them. I haven't really found like exactly how I want to draw them. I think these are more photo drawings. And just a random, you know, like random sketch. Okay, like I'm such a sentimental freak. Like I've kept all these like sticky notes that my boyfriend left on my desk at work, and these are some more thumbnails I did for Valor 1. I remember the ending of the story I struggled a little bit with, like how I was going to lay out the pages. So I had like these printed out pieces of paper. You can barely tell, but there was like some rough thumbnails that I'd blown up to the size of like a printer paper, and then I printed them out and like took them to Starbucks to draw because I needed to really focus. So yeah, actually going out in public helps me get a lot of work done. Maybe that sounds like counterintuitive to people who've never tried it, but like at home you can get distracted by literally anything. So also when you're in public, you kind of feel like, you know, you're kind of being watched in an indirect way, so you like need to focus and look like you're doing something. yeah, so those are the thumbnails, I guess, that I blew up to use. Then this is just sticker collection. So yeah, that was everything for this book, and that is my most recent completed book. I have obviously like other sketchbooks on the go, but I definitely don't fill a sketchbook nearly as quickly as I used to when I was in college. So this is going to be the last sketchbook tour for who knows how long. I've kind of been doing the thing where I have like several books on the go, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I feel kind of weird about showing you guys books that aren't finished yet. Unless you want some videos that are like what I've been sketching recently, and it's just like a short kind of update video of like a few sketchbook pages. Yeah, so I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. That's my art history up to date, pretty much, sketchbook wise. My digital art, I try to put a lot of online, and I have a homepage, emilyhand.com, and I have links to everything on there. So I try to post stuff on my Tumblr and Instagram and Twitter. Admittedly, I don't post everything I draw. Sometimes I want to just sit down and draw without the pressure of knowing I'm going to put that online. Because I used to feel that way when I was in college before there was a lot of social media, and that was just like more of a liberated way to draw in my sketchbook, where I didn't think like, okay, when I'm finished this, I'm going to put it on my blog, or I'm going to put it on Twitter. Like, it was just drawing for the sake of drawing. So anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. So hope you guys enjoyed this series. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you hopefully in a new video soon.